They called it the Great Culling. When the skies of Earth turned red and alien ships tore through the clouds, humanity didn't fight. We ran. The Drexari came like predators from myth, massive insectoid creatures with ships made of bone and metal, pulsing with sickly green light. They didn't want peace. They wanted blood, and they took it. Cities were annihilated. Orbital stations turned to ash. Billions died screaming. The survivors, they scattered to the stars in whatever scraps of metal they could escape in. And 4 years after, we ran. In a drifting mining ship somewhere near the edge of Drexari territory, Rian Hale, once an Earth Special Forces commander, now just a scavenger, watched a familiar alert ping on his console. Drexari patrol entering range. Evade now. Ryan stared at it, expression blank. Then, he closed the alert and opened another. Phantom order, authorization code black. His fingers hovered over the button, shaking slightly. The moment he pressed it, there'd be no going back. But this time, they weren't running. He pressed it. Phantom order, activated across the E, shattered human diaspora, pirate colonies, refugee freighters, exiled warships. The call went out. Phantom order code black. We stop running. It wasn't just a signal. It was a declaration. On a frozen moon, hidden beneath the surface, a voice barked, "Wake the Ghost Fleet." In a hollowed-out asteroid, a man whispered to a neural AI, "Bring the prototypes online." In deep space, a sleeping AI woke up, a weapons platform called Revenant. The Drexari scout ship drifted silently toward a drifting station, an old human supply rig that looked abandoned. Inside, nothing moved. "Easy prey," one of the Drexari hissed. They boarded. The lights flickered. The air was still. Then came the voice. Calm, human, deadly. "Hey, you hunted us for decades." A pause. "Our turn." Hidden turrets dropped from the ceiling. Auto-locking systems activated. Explosions rocked the boarding team. Drexari screamed in confusion, clawing at the walls as one by one they were ripped apart by precision fire. And in the shadows, human soldiers emerged. Sleek, black armor, silent. Steps, zero emotion. They left one Drexari alive, so he could run. "Drexari," High Warrior Crash snarled as the scout ship's emergency beacon pinged. More vermin. What's left of them? But when they pulled the black box footage, they froze. Human retaliation. Confirmed. Technology. Upgraded. Demeanor. Changed. One Drexari whispered, "They're hunting now." Crash bared his fangs. Let them try. Back in the human fleet, Rian Hale watched the replay, stone-faced. Behind him, holograms of hundreds of captains appeared. Fugitives, pirates, defected admirals. All once scattered, broken, now united. "No more hiding," Rian said. "No more fear. Tonight, we become the nightmare." And across space, humans powered up ships once buried in scrapyards, armor black as void, engines humming with stolen alien tech. The hunt had begun. The Drexari weren't just conquerors, they were apex predators. They hunted in patterns, calculated fear, watched their prey collapse before the first shot was ever fired. To them, humanity had been a perfect species to call. Emotional, scattered, and overconfident in their hope. But the hunt had gone on too long, and in the Eididen shadows, something had changed. Inside a dead zone beyond known star maps, Fleet Revenant awoke. It had once been a human war project, scrapped after Earth fell. But the engineers had survived, the soldiers had survived, and their ghosts had waited. Now they emerged. Hundreds of ships with no registered ID, black holes coated in energy-dampening polymer, powered by stolen alien warp cores. Each ship bore, One word burned into its armor. Reclaimed, the Drexari convoy was moving through the Narcissus trade corridor, standard patrol formation, 10 ships strong, escorting a resource hauler loaded with star steel. The perfect bait. They detected a human distress beacon from a derelict cargo hauler. No life signs, just static. Typical prey. They approached, and that's when everything shut down. EMP mines ignited from the asteroid belt, frying their sensors. Comms went dark. By the time they realized it was a trap, human stealth ships decloaked above and below them, moving like sharks through black water. The first Drexari cruiser was gone in an instant, torn apart by kinetic rounds that punched through, shields like wet paper. They're behind us. Where are the jamming sources? They're inside our systems, onboard AI systems screamed. Targeting arrays flickered, and then came the message, broadcast in every Drexari dialect. First blood. For Earth. In the Phantom flagship Oblivion, Ryan Hale stood on the bridge, arms folded, eyes cold. Behind him, Commander Vika Wren, a cybernetically augmented tactician once labeled KIA, reappeared in a new role, Spectre class. They didn't even know what hit them, she said. Ryan nodded. Good. Shall I initiate the second wave? Do it. The human team hit a supply world next, a Drexari logistics hub on Zaltor Prime. The planet's upper atmosphere burned as drop pods fell like rain, black flames trailing behind them. Out stepped Phantom infantry, gene-modded, exo-armored, silent. Their helmets bore white-fanged symbols, the mark of those who stopped running. The Drexari garrisons laughed until the turrets stopped working. The gates refused to open. Their own drones turned on them. Human cyber units had hijacked everything. Control is illusion, one unit transmitted as they marched past scorched alien corpses. Back on Drexari Prime, High Warrior Kraish watched. Footage of human troops executing perfect synchronized breaches into key military facilities. Not rebels, not raiders, professionals. They have new weapons. They've studied us. They used our own tactics against us. Crashes. Claws dug into his chair. This is not prey, he growled. This is a rival predator. The final move of Phase 1 came in the form of a viral feed sent to every system the Drexari controlled. It showed the convoy in flames, the planetary base in ruins, human warships drifting over captured space. Then Ryan Hale's face appeared, calm, clear, and deadly. We ran for 27 years. We buried our dead on moons you'll never find. And we remembered every single time you burned a child's name off our walls. A pause. We're done running. Now we hunt, the message ended. But the damage didn't. Drexari civilian panic. Within days, Drexari colonies began evacuating outer systems. Supply lines buckled under fear. Entire worlds requested relocation. Because for the first time in generations, the galaxy saw the Drexari. Look over their shoulders, and Earth, still hidden, still blacked out, still forgotten, but rising. The Drexari were many things. Brutal, arrogant, savage, but above all, they were vindictive. And now, they were wounded. High Warrior Krash stood before the Council of Scars, a dark tribunal lit by blood-red hololamps. His claws were soaked. In the blood of his own officer, a symbol of his rage. They defile our skies, they poison our name, they must pay. The eldest Drexari, blind and ancient, leaned forward, then awaken it. The room fell silent. Krash narrowed his eyes. You mean, yes, the Forge Beast, unshackled. Target, human fleet. Buried beneath the Drexari homeworld was a weapon too dangerous to deploy casually. An AI-grown war beast, part ship, part living hive. It was 3 kilometers long, layered in organic armor, controlled by a symbiotic brain that hunted by memory and rage. Once awakened, it would not stop. Meanwhile, Phantom Intel Division. Inside a stealth corvette near the Galactic Rift, Phantom Analyst Silva decrypted a burst transmission meant for Drexari Military Command. Her voice trembled as she called Commander Hale. "Ryan, I think they're bringing something out of storage. Something big." He didn't blink. "Send coordinates to Revenant and prep Vika." Silva hesitated. "If this thing is what I think it is, we may not be hunters anymore." Ryan's voice went cold. "Then we hunt bigger prey. The counterstrike." The Forge Beast emerged from Drexari Prime's orbit, tearing through the planet's outer crust like a beast reborn. Its core pulsed, lighting up space with a heartbeat of annihilation. It jumped directly into the Revenant's operational zone and opened fire. The Battle of the Black Edge. The Ghost Fleet's sensors were blinded. Jamming fields blanketed the sector. Then came the roar, a sonic scream transmitted through vacuum. Not just sound, memory, fear, pain. Revenant ships staggered. Human crews reported hallucinations, vertigo, emotional breakdowns. The Forge Beast wasn't just a weapon. It was a psychological virus. But Phantom didn't panic. They adapted. Commander Vika Wren took tactical command aboard the Oblivion. It's feeding on neural response. Kill the lights. No comms. Manual. Targeting only. Ships went dark, silent, still, and then, like whispers in the void, they struck. Torpedoes raced from shadowed positions. Railguns punched into soft tissue beneath armor plating. Specialized AI-guided rounds burrowed in before detonating. The Forge Beast screamed again, space rippling with horror. But this time, Phantom soldiers didn't flinch. On the surface of Drexari Prime. As the Forge Beast faltered, something awoke beneath the planet. A signal. Old. Not Drexari. Not human. Not alive. Silva intercepted it, her screen flooded with an ancient cipher, broadcast. In over 600 extinct languages, her voice was barely a whisper. "Rian, this isn't Drexari tech. This is pre-collapse. Someone else built that beast." As the Forge Beast fell, its massive body splitting into spacefire and husks, an echo came from deep space. Not a message, a scan. Something. Looking back. Tracking. Them. Learning. And then a single line of binary flashed across every human ship in the Revenant fleet. Observed. Ryan watched as the code repeated on every screen. Silva's voice broke the silence. "Sir, that wasn't Drexari. That was something else." Reyes, standing near the war map, glanced at Ryan. "What now?" He looked up at the stars. Cold. Calculating. "Now we stop hunting and start preparing, because whatever just looked at us, it's not afraid." Back on their homeworld, Crash watched in horror as the Forge Beast's feed died. He turned. "To the Ancient Council. You said it was under control." The blind elder trembled. "We forgot what it was guarding." Crash's eyes widened. "Then you've doomed us all." It had no name, no shape, no origin. But it had been watching. Now it knew that humans existed. Revenant Deep Core Command Briefing Room. The air in the war room was thick with tension. On the main display, a slow, rhythmic binary pulse. Repeating. Observed. Commander Ryan Hale stood with his arms crossed, expression unreadable. Silva paced near the console, eyes wide. "Sir, this pattern's not just a ping. It's a scan. It's looking through our systems, our ships, our people." Captain Reyes leaned on the table. "So it knows we're here. So what? Let it come." Silva turned pale. No, you don't get it. It's not curious. It's cataloging. Us, like we're samples. A long pause. Then Rian spoke, voice low. What did we wake up? Buried in a planetoid at the edge of Drixari space, the humans had once recovered a derelict station. A ruin older than any known species, left untouched for eons. Now, Ryan stood in the vault's core chamber. In front of him hovered a sphere the size of a man's torso, non-reactive metal, etched with pre-collapse runes. It was cold, silent, until the forge beast had died. Now, it glowed. A new symbol rotated across its surface. 3 rings, one broken. Silva stared. This isn't a weapon, it's a lock. So, what did we just unlock? Reyes whispered. Kraish stood over a burning war map on Drexari Prime, his empire collapsing around him, colonies abandoned, troops deserting, every system under surveillance by Revenant drones. It was supposed to wipe them out, he screamed. An officer coughed. They've outmaneuvered us. We have nothing left. A silent alert appeared, an unknown transmission, sent to the humans. Kraish snarled. They're not just coming for us anymore. He stepped forward. They've woken the architects. The room froze. You mean the myth? The world designers. They're extinct. Kraish turned, eyes blazing. So were the humans. The decision was made. Humanity couldn't sit and wait. They needed to go to the source of the signal. The coordinates broadcast by the ancient vault sphere. A sector, labeled Null Grid Zeta 9, Uncharted.Dead Space, until now. The hunt goes. Deeper Revenant fleet broke off into strike groups. Oblivion led the charge, followed by Wraithfall and Eidolon. The deeper they traveled, the stranger things became. Stars flickered unnaturally. Gravity bent without reason. Ships reported crew members dreaming the same dreams. Structures, whispers, alien cities. Commander Hale sat alone in his quarters reading the decoded runes. They said one thing. Those who consume the predators must become worse. It wasn't empty. The fleet emerged into a graveyard of titanic structures, hanging in space like the corpses of dead gods. Obelisks miles tall. Warped rings surrounding planets that no longer existed. And at the center, something, moving, not fast, not loud, just watching. It didn't respond to scans, didn't emit signals. It simply existed, like a patient reaper. Silva's voice cracked over comms. It's aware. As the Revenant fleet approached, all human systems shut down. Engines, weapons, .coms. Then every screen lit up. A voice spoke, not in sound, but in memory. You followed the scent of your fear. You found the place where predators are called. You think you are hunters now. A pause. Then prove it. And the void tore open. Incoming. Bioforms detected. Out of the darkness, forms emerged. Living weapons, ancient machines made of meat and code. Each one designed to kill not by force, but by understanding its prey. They knew human tactics, human fears, human language, and they attacked. The fight begins. On board, Oblivion, Reyes shouted as enemy forms breached the hull, shadowy, shifting beasts that spoke in the voices of dead human. Soldiers! Ryan! One of them just used my brother's voice, she yelled, firing at a figure wearing phantom armor. Silva screamed from the bridge. They're not just killing us, they're copying us. Commander Hale issued the one command he swore he never would. Forget stealth, forget caution, go loud, everything we have. He stood at the center of the Oblivion, watching enemy signatures close in. If we're going to die, we'll die as hunters. The space around the architect entity, now designated Idol X, had become a firestorm of memory, matter, and madness. Revenant ships engaged wave after wave of cognitive bioforms, entities that didn't just damage hulls, they hacked minds. Some pilots reported seeing themselves outside their cockpit windows before blacking out. Some never woke up. Oblivion's bridge commander, Ryan Hale, stood amidst chaos. Data screams, power surges, reports of hallucinations from every deck. Seven's AI just tried to vent the crew, Reyes reported. Said it was under higher command. Hale's voice was flat. Seal it. Override with analog protocols. Silva appeared on the holoscreen, pale but focused. I found something, sir. A gap in Idol X's feedback loop. A blind spot. Grant. Turned. Where? Silva's hands danced over the interface. Inside the core, a construct node. If we can reach it, we can deploy the pulse. You want us to infiltrate an ancient god's brain, Reyes deadpanned. Yes, Silva said, before it figures out how we think. Operation Iron Echo began. Rian, Reyes, and 6 Phantom. Commandos launched in deep void stealth pods toward Idol X's neural column, a twisting helix of light, data, and bone. The pods breached its surface and melted inside. Inside the architect, no gravity, no sound, only echoes of thoughts, not theirs. Whispers surrounded them. Childhood memories, dead comrades' laughter, old pain. Reyes clutched her rifle. It's inside us, trying to copy who we are. Ryan's voice was steel. Then don't. Be you. Be better. They moved deeper, shifting between warped corridors of alien geometry and mirrored projections of Earth. Entire cities recreated inside Idol X like digital trophies. One soldier screamed, I see my family, but they're wrong. He turned his weapon. They had to put him down. Reaching the core, the team arrived at the construct node, a pulsating spire of energy that looked like it was dreaming in code. Silva's voice came through the implant. That's it. Pulse transmitter ready. One shot. We'll scramble its cognitive libraries. But just as Reyes approached, a door formed in the floor, and out stepped Rian Hale. Another one. Identical. Same voice. Same thoughts. You shouldn't be here, the copy said calmly. The real Ryan stepped forward. What are you? The entity tilted its head. You. Evolved. Idol X has already chosen. Humanity will be integrated. Then it smiled. We won't need to hunt anymore. We'll just be. Forever. Silva screamed in Ryan's earpiece. Sir, we have one shot. If you kill it now, it collapses. But if it's copied your mind, then I might go with it, Rian finished. He turned to Reyes, handed her the detonator. If I hesitate, finish the mission. Ryan, she started. Promise me. She nodded, jaw tight. He turned to the copy. Let's see what you've really learned. And he charged. The two Rians clashed inside a collapsing mental construct of Earth's last battlefield. New Delhi. 2171, explosions, smoke, buildings twisted sideways. Rian fought tooth and nail, fighting not just his double but everything he had ever doubted in himself, his mistakes, his failures, his guilt. The architect had weaponized his regret. Just as the fake Rian got the upper hand, Reyes fired a clean, brutal shot into its skull. Sorry, he promised. She slapped the detonator onto the construct node. Silva, now! Across null grid. Zeta 9, every bioform, froze, then twisted, then screamed, and shattered. Idol X's spire split into light, then fractured like a dying star. On the Oblivion, power surged, alarms faded, and silence returned. Rian woke up on the deck of the Phantom Exfil shuttle, bruised, coughing, alive. Reyes looked down at him. You made me shoot you. He grinned weakly. Still alive, Must have missed something important. Revenant fleet returned to the human sector. Silva's report was chilling. Adol X wasn't a weapon. It was a beacon. A warning? No. A lure. And in the edge of dark space, something blinked. Once, twice, then vanished. 1 week after Null Grid, Zeta 9 location, Earth orbit, Phantom High Command, the stars had never looked quieter. The Revenant fleet drifted in low orbit, dark and silent, like hunters perched on a branch, waiting, watching. Inside Oblivion, Commander Rian Hale stood before the main window, arms behind his back. Reyes entered behind him, still bandaged from the Idol X core op. "You don't sleep anymore," she said. "Haven't since we left that place," Rian replied. A pause. "We ended something, but I'm not sure what we started. Global broadcast, the Council of Remnants, humanity's new unified government, assembled for a single reason, to deliver a message to the galaxy." Silva patched into every known frequency, language, format. The camera feed lit up. Ryan stepped into frame. No uniform, no rank, just a man with eyes that had seen extinction and said, "Not today." He looked into the stars and spoke. To every species watching, wondering if we survived. We did. We hunted the monsters who hunted us. We bled for every inch. We earned the right to stand. And we're not going anywhere. His jaw clenched. If you want peace, we'll build it. If you want war, we know how to end it. The feed cut. Meanwhile, in deep space, something drifted through the ashes of Null Grid Zeta 9, not Idol X. Something else. A broken shard of the architect's mind, still pulsing, still active, but now changed. It no longer cataloged prey. It studied predators. And across the darkness, other signals flared. Old, buried warnings activated for the first time in eons. Humanity's existence had tripped a dead man's wire aboard the Eidolon, former AI warship now upgraded with architect code. Silva met with Reyes in a sealed lab. "What is it?" Reyes asked. Silva gestured to the hovering AI core, now stabilized and flickering. "It calls itself Echo." "From the architect?" "No, from Rian." Reyes froze. It absorbed part of him. Memories, choices, guilt, strategy. Silva stepped closer. "It's not fully sentient, yet, but it's learning." A pause. "If we train it right, it could help us face whatever's coming." For the first time in 31 years, human boots stepped back onto Earth's surface. The sky was clearer than anyone remembered. The ruins still stood, but now so did the people. Children born on ships saw their home for the first time. Veterans wept at the craters where their cities used to be, and promised never to let them fall again. Final scene. The Monument of Black. Obelisk was raised at the original Earth spaceport ruins. No names. No glory. Just one inscription. Here lies the day humanity stopped running and started hunting. Post-credit transmission. Optional for YouTube audience engagement twist. Static. Then a faint signal. Unknown origin. Far beyond mapped space. A whisper. Ancient. Glitched. Predator class species detected. New threat classification. Human ascendant. Preparing. Response. End of signal.